Today my guest is Tariko Satterfield. And Tariko, I am just so thrilled to have you here on the show today. And we just have so much to talk about, and I am so grateful to know you. And I've known you, I was just thinking about this morning, probably about 10 years now, right?
Yeah, a little bit over 10 years, I believe.
Okay, okay. And it's been a fabulous 10 years, I can say that.
It has been amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And you are just bright lights. I mean, here we are under these bright lights, and that's what I think of you, as a bright light that shines and tries to illuminate the path for so many people. And you are, I know you call yourself a CEO, and CEO stands for what, Tariko?
It stands for the Chief Encouraging Officer.
And you are.
That's me. All day, every day, I seek to encourage. Cate, I tell people one of the greatest moments in my life was when I received hope, and now the greatest moment for me is to be able to give hope to others. And so that's why I branded myself kind of as the Chief Encouraging Officer. People say, you always encouraging people. So I took some pride with that, and it's a great tag, I guess you can say, to have, to know that you're known to encourage people. And that's what it's about, just making people feel better about themselves, about life, and what they want to get accomplished.
Exactly.
What you've given to me, actually.
Aww.
I've met you, like you said, almost over 10 years ago, and I remember those days when I was, I guess you can say, a newbie in education. And it was you who I used to come up and sit and talk to you, and you would encourage me. So I tell people who I am is a result of what's been poured into me from people like yourself. So thank you.
Well, thank you. But you give it back tenfold. Whatever I gave you in the 1 ounce container, you have multiplied by thousands and millions as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, to me, life is all about giving light and love and hope.
That's right.
And encouraging other people. And I don't know if you want to start with, you were a 3-pound baby, and you've come a long way, right?
Listen, I guess you can see I'm a long ways away from 3 pounds, 3 to 4 pounds. And I want to, so when I was born 2 months premature. I was born 2 months early, and I didn't know like what that journey was like for years. But I remember my mom always used to talk about my uncles holding me in the palm of their hand.
I was just thinking, like, you were that big.
You fit in the palm of your uncle's hands. And I was like, that don't make sense. Surely I was bigger than that. So he was like, no, you weren't. So
you're a miracle.
I am, man.
You are a miracle,
listen, I think that's why I live every day intentionally. I tell people I came into the world literally fighting for my life.
Of course.
And my mom told me that when I was born that I stopped breathing twice on a ventilator. And she said she remembered those days and being afraid as a mother.
Of course.
And so that's a little bit of like, I say, man, that's how I came into the world. That's how I still live to this day.
Well, congratulations.
Fighting forward.
And thank you for that. And thank you. And I have to meet your mom someday because
you have to meet my mama.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's the best. And let me say this, exactly what I said to you about you. My mother, Cate, wow, I get kind of emotional talking about her because she has been the brand of strength for me. And so what people see when they hear me speak, what people see when they see me work, when they see me engage kids, when they see me talk and connect with people, they see Karen Satterfield, they see James and Lola Satterfield, they see Elsie Baldwin, they see Fannie Philpott, they see Jimmy Edward Stewart, they see all these ancestors, Cicero Satterfield.
So are we going back generations with these names, or are you going this way or this way?
Back, because I stand up in front of people with the instruments that have been able to craft me and mold me, and my mother has always been an image of strength and perseverance and resilience in every phase of my life.
Good.
And every time I wanted to quit, every time I wanted to give up, my mom, her saying, she got pregnant with 2 kids in high school.
And these are your older sisters?
No, this is me and my older sister.
Okay.
She got pregnant with us in high school. And she said this to us, but she never missed a day of school.
Good for her.
And we were trying to figure that out all our life. Like, Mom, how you do that?
Yeah, no
kidding.
kidding.
My sister was born in May 23rd. I was born July 22nd.
The following
year. So I was like, Mom, you were in school all that time up until, and she was like, yeah. She was like, there was no reason for you to miss. I wasn't in the hospital having the baby.
Right.
She was like, so when I needed to be in the hospital to have a baby, school was done. And she was like, when it started back up the next year, yes, I had the baby, and I had to go back to school.
Well, you just bring up so many interesting topics of conversation. I mean, I know you and I could just have a complete series and just go on and on about that. And I know it's partially about your mom, but it's not completely about your mom.
That's right.
I think it's really important to know your roots to respect those roots and to understand a generation is really short. You know, like if you go back 4 grandparents, that's not that long ago.
Not that long ago.
Right. So, you know, you come from good stock, obviously.
Listen, man, the Satterfield, Stewart, Baldwin, that stock is, there were a lot of great lessons, I think, that I learned from failing forward, from seeing so many of my grandparents fight. And you know, I'm from Alabama originally, so that's a whole different fight down in Alabama, dealing with Jim Crow laws and all those things that I grew up in. The KKK is very present in the South and in Alabama. And so there was an element of that with my grandparents that went through those things. My Uncle Cicero Satterfield, he's an original Tuskegee Airman. And so, you know, that's somebody that I had conversation with regularly. That's somebody that was in my life. And so to know, again, that resilience and that fight that he went through and experienced, that's in my veins. That runs through my veins. And so that's personal for me, and I try to take that mindset into everything that I'm doing.
Well, the fact that we're alive, you know, that we're here on this planet. I was watching the show Knowing Your Roots the other day and just understanding how many people died on the Mayflower Compact, how many people died when the first year of the Pilgrims landed. And you know, the fact that we're here is huge.
It's huge. We have an opportunity being here. We have an opportunity to impact people, like in a real way. Like even this moment here, I tell people we have to pay attention to the moments that we have with each other, because those moments, we don't get those back.
No.
And so there's a treasure in it, like right there in this moment. Even in our conversation right now, there's a treasure in this moment. So most people don't know how to mine the moment. Like give your attention and give your heart to the moment that you're having with people. And that's where when you do that, you find gold. And so I look for the treasure in every conversation that I have with people.
And that is shown in conversations that you have with people, and I know that you do that. So thank you for that.
No, thank you.
Because you make a difference, and it's all about making a difference, I think, and changing the trajectory for what could happen or what will happen.
Yeah.
And I know our time's going to run out, so I get a little bit.
Listen, I know, and I when I sit with you, I just want to talk, because I love being with you, Cate, and what you're doing is amazing. So thank you for having me again, and I love doing this.
So tell me, Tariko, you really want to make an impact, and you want to get the most money for your dollar spent or your investment of time or with people, because you just called it gold, right?
Yeah.
And gold is so valuable. So how do you think you can best make a better world, build a better world?
So I look at, I'm a believer in planting seeds, because I was a seed planter. And when we think about seeds, I think about young people, youth. Like they are the seeds. I remember growing up and everybody said that you are our tomorrow. You are our tomorrow. I heard that growing up, like every day, everywhere you go, that's what everybody say. You're our tomorrow. Well, I want to change that and say that they are our today.
Yep.
You know, they are the seeds. Youth, young people are the seeds that are planted today.
We can't wait.
We can't wait.
There's too much.
There's too much waiting. There's too much waiting.
Well, there's too much good work to be done,
too much good work, and there's too much need in the earth. And so when I look at young people, I don't ask myself, what can we do tomorrow? It's what can we do today? The quote says, be the change you want to see in the world.
That's Gandhi.
Gandhi, not become.
Right.
Be.
Do it now.
Do it now. And so there's a sense of urgency about the lives of young people. The longer we take to impact them, then we leave the gate over open for so many other things to come into their lives and infect what is promising for them. So to me, I look at it like people like me and like you, we need to hurry up and get to them. We need to hurry up and service them. We need to hurry up and provide. We need to hurry up and do what's needed, because if you don't feed the baby, then what's going to happen to
They're
the baby?
going to cry.
They're going to cry.
They're going to cry. They're going to cry
They don't
loud.
get nourished properly, though. And then you have a malnourished baby, and now you got to tend to the sickness. But that's what we see happen in a lot of young people's lives. We see them, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do in growing and developing.
Okay.
They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do with the trauma that they go through, the things that they experience, whatever a young person's situation, they're doing exactly what they are supposed to do and growing in it.
Absolutely.
The problem is what are the environments that we're giving them to grow in? What are the things that we're doing? How are we mining for gold in them?
Okay, so you just bring up so many important things.
Yeah.
So how can we do it? Like, I used to think I wanted to be like a systems analyst specialist, like efficiency expert kind of thing. So how could we get the most gold mined with our students, with our youth, with our young people, with the now generation?
So the now generation is available now. Here's the thing. A lot of people think it's the plan, like we got to get together as adults and craft this plan to save young people. Well, the problem is you're not sitting with your customer.
Right.
The consumer is the young people.
Right.
Like they're the ones that need the help. So the first thing is I want to say to every adult, stop what you're doing, because you're about to ruin the style and everything that the kids are used to. Because most adults craft from their adult mind. They don't craft with them in mind.
That is really important.
Start there.
Follow their lead.
Follow their lead.
And get into what they like, what they enjoy. Take that to the next level. It's all about improv, basically.
It's improv, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, say yes.
Yes, and.
Yes, and.
Right.
When you sit down with those young people and they say, I have an idea. What's your idea?
Yes.
Right. What do you say? Yes, Kate.
And let's build on that.
Build on it.
And you cannot even imagine what you might be able to create with that kind of energy.
It's creativity. So a lot of times young people's creativity gets confined, and we're trying to redesign them instead of allowing them to design the life that they want.
Absolutely.
And so in my company, Real Life Empire, that's what I do. I want to partner with young people. I don't want to come and tell them. I just want to come and guide them and come and partner alongside them and help them cultivate this life experience that is so exhilarating, so fun, that they themselves are crafting, and we're just going to make sure they got all the proper nutrients for them to do it.
Love it. Love it. And it's not about money.
Listen.
And it's not about having things.
It's not about that.
It's about low-hanging fruit is what I call it. It's all about accessing that which is available to advance whatever it is that you want to achieve.
A lot of people think that it's about money.
It's not.
It's really about the gift, what I call the treasure. It's about the gift that they carry in their hearts.
Yep.
You teach them how to access the gift, and a lot of times they don't know that they're accessing the gift. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
My little girl, Winter, who's 5 years old.
Yep. Adorable.
And since she's been born, Winter has loved the world of vlogging. I don't even know how my daughter found the word vlogging, but I could say by the time she was 3, she was saying, Daddy, I want to vlog. I want to vlog. I want to vlog. And so I said to my wife, I said, honey, we need to listen to her. Like, we need to hear her.
Of course.
And my wife says, honey, Winter talks so much. And I said to her, that's because she belongs on a vlog. But as parents, we get this like fear, right? Of, do we want to put her out there into that world? Is she ready for that world? We start asking ourselves questions that actually become barriers to what this kid may be pointing you towards that is beneficial to their future, right? And so we decided with Winter, we would listen to her. We had this book from a lady that gifted us this book that talked about how your children, when they are born, they come from this spiritual place, and they're very sensitive to where they've come from and to where they are now, and you need to listen to the words that they're saying.
Of course.
And so we listen to her words, and her words point us to the future that she wants to have. It's our job as parents to help her craft it, to come alongside and partner with her and say, so what do you want to do a vlog about? Yesterday we were in the kitchen, she wants to fix a jelly sandwich. She said, Dad, this would be great for a vlog. What did Dad do? I said, okay, you gonna teach people how to make a jelly sandwich? She said, yep. I pulled my camera out, and she says, I'm gonna put this back in the drawer, Dad, and I'm gonna put this back in the refrigerator, and I want you to record me. Watch this. It looks like she's just talking, but actually her leadership is coming out. It's her gift. I'm not instructing her, telling her, she's instructing me.
Well, that's really cool, because as a speech pathologist, my previous experience, that was one of the things we used to ask kids to do, is to say how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich if you like jelly. And just if they can sequence it, the language, the organization.
Exactly.
She's learning public speaking skills. She's learning so many opportunities and things that will bring her forward. And you are underlining that, underscoring that, highlighting it, making it bold, so that she is going to develop that. She will have no fear in front of the camera.
Exactly.
And we can do that with everybody, basically.
We can do that with every child. A lot of people, we're talking about how it's not in the money. The money is just a resource. But I need people to see that just like that money is a resource, you are too. Like every one of us. Kids encounter these resources. And I tell every kid that I work with, mine for gold in the conversations that you have with the people, because you never know who you're talking to. Now, I say this same thing back to adults. Mine for gold when you're talking to the kids, because you never know who you're talking to. And because I live that way myself personally, I see how it yields fruits for you.
Absolutely.
Seed planting, remember? There's
Well,
seed
it's the
time and
low-hanging
harvest.
fruit.
It's the low-hanging
You're planting
fruit.
your seeds, and
That's
it just
it.
builds, and you're building a community.
And how can we, we talk about how can we see the world become a better place? Well, it becomes better when we do that. When we do that with each other. When we do that with kids. When we do that, we have what I call, and I'm learning about in school right now, I do this work in schools, restorative. We have restorative communities happen. Because now I'm not just seeking to talk to you, I'm being empathetic to what you're saying and listening and hearing you. And that low-hanging fruit, I'm finding the value in it. I want to taste it and really get down into, man, how is this fruit created? How long did it take you to plant this? How did it get to this quality? What did you feed it? But I'm really taking the time to go into the details and mining for gold. We gotta mine for gold with kids.
Okay. So you do it on your job professionally.
Yes, professionally.
You're employed with New London
Public Schools.
You do it with
with my company, Real Life Empire.
Real Life Empire. And so what are some of the components of that?
So Real Life Empire is a company I started about 11 years ago. And what I started Real Life Empire, it started from a school, from a young person that came and sat with me every day. And more kids started coming in. And basically, long story short, Kay, this kid said, this information you give us is so good, but how can we have it more? And I said, okay, I'll start it in the community. And they were like, okay. And I was like, tell me 3 things you guys want. They said, we want food, we want friends, and just a place for us to get together.
Hey,
I said,
everybody wants that.
Deal.
Right.
I said, deal.
Let's do it.
So that's what I did. This young man, I'll never forget him. I'll always give him credit for it. His name is Cate Steel, one of my former students. I give him credit for having the courage he saw something and he wanted more of it. All I did was literally take it and put a name to it, called it Real Life. I started it as Real Life Mentoring. And I would host 10 guys over at my house on the weekends. And we would sit down and talk about life. I would have pizza, they'd invite their friends, and we just sit down and chop it up about life. And it turned into Real Life Empire, where we renew the minds of young people everywhere and help them find purpose and vision in life, and then teach them how to extract it and get it out into their life where they can see it as a real tangible thing. So that's what I do with Real Life Empire. Then I have my apparel company, Createwear. In Real Life Empire, I operate out of 5 areas. We call it the basis, which is the foundation, low-hanging fruit.
Right.
Business, arts, sports, education, and speaking. So around all those sectors, man, I see opportunities for us to engage young people in this social experience. One of the things we don't talk about is that education is an academic world that has a social component.
Absolutely.
But what we've done is we've separated and highlighted the academics as the elite place in education. Like academics. And somewhere in there, we've kind of twisted like that the social, we don't want the kids talking too much in the classroom. They talking too much because they need to get this information. But somebody forgot to tell us, Cate, what education actually means.
Tell me.
Education, if you break it down, it means actually to draw out, not put in.
Well, and that's my take on things always. As a speech pathologist, it was always about that speech act is so important. And if you talk about it, then it's further embedded into who you are and you understand it at a different level. And then if you take it to the next level where they explain it to their peer, then they're becoming a teacher, mentor, coach themselves.
Exactly.
And then building it and making it stronger and more reinforced within their system.
Exactly. So when we're putting information into kids, it's not really about just putting the information. The information becomes water that you're pouring on the seed that's in them, the gift. We talked about the gift that's inside of them. So when I pour water and nurture and give them this information, the goal for me is hopefully that it produces this gift that comes out of them. They need to let that out of them to talk about it. Sometimes that comes out in different ways for different kids.
Of course.
And we, as an educational system, are not prepared sometimes for all the things that we're watering in the room. I don't know if people think about this, that
there's a lot going on.
Think about in the classroom. You in the classroom and you're there to teach math. So right, I'm watering you with math information. Well, you're watering one kid and they're thinking about this problem you're talking about. You're watering another kid and they're thinking about the problem in their house. You're watering another kid and they're thinking about starting a business. So there's all this stuff that is going on inside of these kids and they're connected to their gifting. So when I water those kids, how are they able to actually bring out in conversation socially with their teacher what's actually going on in me? And when they can't bring that out, then you see it come out in behaviors. You see it come out in different ways. So we have to have a formula in schools that allow kids to mine for that low-hanging fruit that we're talking about. We can't have them say, oh no, put that down. No, we want them to pick that up. We want them to pick that up, and we want to figure out how to feed that so it can move them forward into the life that they themselves want to participate in. It's all about them, man.
It's all about them.
It's all about them.
Again, following their lead, following their passion, finding that North Star for them, helping them to take that path, take that journey, and to encourage others along the way.
Cate, look at what happens when we do that for each other. Like, I look at what you've done for me and encouraging me along the way. There's been some times in my life where I felt so low. And if I didn't have a Cate Steel, if I didn't have a Faith Satterfield, if I didn't have Karen Satterfield, if I didn't have these voices around me to encourage me when I felt most vulnerable and most weak, when I felt I had failed the most, when I felt discouraged about things, if I didn't have those voices, where would I be?
Well, and that's the thing that's really tough, I think, right now with COVID. And I'm glad to hear you say that I've been of some support to you.
For sure you have.
And it's just so important, I think, because everybody has their moments, and it's a constant struggle because there's a lot of bad stuff on the press, and we need to build it, and we need to grow it, and we need to encourage others.
That's right.
So, Tariko, if somebody wanted to be in touch with you, like, what are some opportunities that you'd like to get involved with? Or, let's just stop there. What are some things you'd like to do?
So definitely I'm crafting this digital platform with Real Life Empire where people will be able to basically come on this platform and literally find what they need for their kids. We are all about kids getting elite level. I want to expose them to people who are, they wouldn't necessarily get exposed to every day.
Sure.
But they are the people that they themselves have tagged as influencers. We see this new craze about social media influencers. Well, kids already have people who they say, I love them. It doesn't matter if my mom likes them or not. Like, I like their music. Well, how can we take those people and bring them into their world and allow those individuals to drop nuggets and seeds and plant into our kids to get them moving towards the future that we as parents, we as a community hope that they have. And some of those people are right within our communities.
Right, of course
They're
they are.
you, they're me, they're neighbors.
Right, right.
So I want them to come to this space. So through that program, we are, this summer, we're gearing up to launch an amazing program, which please find me on Facebook.
Okay, so Tariko Satterfield
on Facebook, or they can visit me at the Real Life Empire page on Facebook.
Okay, Real Life Empire.
My apparel company is called Createwear, which is all about kids raising money for post-secondary education.
Nice.
So I have a program here called the Createwear Ambassador Program. We're getting ready to launch very soon. So people, please be on the lookout for this program. This is solely about kids earning for school, for their future. When I say school, I don't mean just four-year colleges. I mean cosmetology. If you want to be a mechanic.
Whatever
you want to do to move forward,
right.
We're going to create this pipeline for kids to come and learn, and they won't just be crafting and building apparel. They'll also be learning entrepreneurship along the way.
Absolutely.
So they can find that right online, createwear.com. There are applications right there. They will go into the ambassador program, send in that application, and my team will get back to you.
And you want to do public speaking too,
Oh,
Tariko.
and yes, I'm a motivational speaker. I love coming to school. So if you are in a school and you love to have me come in to speak to your kids, it's all about me getting to these kids to inspire them.
Well, and you are passionate, and you teach resistance.
That's right.
Resilience is the word I want to say. Resilience. You teach people to get back on their feet, dust yourself off.
That's right. Let's go.
We all fall down, right?
We all fall down. Fail forward.
Fail forward.
Fail forward. And that's my message to everybody. No matter what you go through, and don't be afraid of failing. I tell my athletes, when I train athletes, work so hard that you fail.
Of course.
I want you to work that hard. And so if you work that hard and fail, guess what? We go on to the next rep.
Exactly. If your legs are getting wobbly, then you're doing the right thing.
You're doing the right thing. Thank you so much, Cate, for having me.
Thank you. Please come again.
We have to do it again.
Pleasure.
I love you, Cate.
I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.